How are you going to spend your Trump bucks? The money hit everybody's bank account yesterday. The money printer goes brr, and we're hopefully all going to stimulate the economy. The strategy here behind the Trump bucks is driving the mainstream media and the left crazy, and it's driving them crazy because he's stealing their usual strategy and using it against them. The Trump bucks hit the bank account, and the left are really upset. Now, why are they going to even be able to justify how upset they are? They can't actually come out and say, we're upset that Americans are getting relief after the government mandated that they all stop working for 2 months. So the way they've got to express their frustration is to hone in on this one fact of the stimulus, which is that President Trump's name is on it. Here's a reporter asking that very question.
Why did you have your name added to these coronavirus relief checks?
Well, I don't know too much about it, but I understand my name is there. I don't know where they're going, how they're going. I do understand it's not delaying anything, and I'm satisfied with that. I don't imagine it's a big deal. I'm sure people will be very happy to get a big, fat, beautiful check, and my name is on it. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Mr. President,
go ahead, please.
Please. Why
please. Go ahead.
A big, fat, beautiful check, and my name is on it. Trump here is stealing a left-wing political tactic, right? The left is really good at optics, usually. They're very good at making it seem like they are the ones giving you all these things, all this money, all these rights, they just give, and they put their name on it. Now, usually it's not the case that they're giving you anything. They're just taking your tax money and then giving it right back to you and saying it's theirs. The left has long done this. Now President Trump is using that same tactic at a time when Americans actually do need relief. But he's flipping their tactic even in this negotiation. Don't forget, originally, this is a federal program. The Congress and the Senate pass it. So it happens at the federal level. President Trump is running the federal government. The only way that Democrats would agree to the relief package for coronavirus is if, even though the money came from the federal government, if the states administered it. Now, at the time, a lot of people wondered, who cares? Why would you want to slow down the process of getting money to people who need it in this time of unemployment? It doesn't make any sense, does it? The federal government can fund it to you just as easily as the states can. But the reason for that is that the Democrats did not want Trump to get the credit, even though it was a Trump program, even though it was federally funded. So they went through this whole strabats just so that they could avoid giving Trump the credit. And what did Trump do? He flipped it back on them and he signed the checks. Really smart play. He once again stymied their tactics. And of course, people are not going to get the check and say, I really want to cash this $1,200. I really want to pay off my bills. I really want to pay my rent this month. It's got Trump's name on it. I can't cash it. No, it's just going to remind them that this came from the federal level and give Trump the credit that he deserves. Stymies them on that. And then Trump turns his attention to the Congress, because right now there are a lot of open positions in the federal government. And some of those need confirmation. Some of those need to bring the legislature in on this. But the legislature's not in Washington. You remember the legislature after a week or two ago, they just all left Washington and went back to their home districts. But they didn't technically adjourn. So they're still technically in session, even though nobody is in Washington and they don't intend to come back until May. So if the Congress and the Senate do adjourn, then President Trump can appoint people through what's called a recess appointment. If they don't adjourn, then those people need confirmation. And right now, they're in this middle ground where they haven't technically adjourned, but they're not there, so nothing can get done. Those positions can't be filled, and obviously we're in the midst of a crisis, so it's more important than ever to get those positions filled. President Trump figured out a way to circumnavigate this issue that managed to make everybody's heads explode. He threatened to adjourn. Here is President Trump.
The Senate has left Washington until at least May 4th. The Constitution provides a mechanism for the president to fill positions in such circumstances. The recess appointment, it's called. The Senate's practice of gaveling into so-called pro forma sessions where no one is even there has prevented me from using the constitutional authority that we're given under the recess provisions. The Senate should either fulfill its duty and vote on my nominees, or it should formally adjourn so that I can make recess appointments. We have a tremendous number of people that have to come into government, and now more so than ever before because of the virus and the problem. We have to do it, and we have to do whatever we have to do. If the House will not agree to that adjournment, I will exercise my constitutional authority to adjourn both chambers of Congress.
Oh, man. Okay, it's not quite as good as Charles II, but it's very, very close. If only he had ended that statement by saying, "I will not trouble you any further. Go home," then it would have been almost exactly the same. The left and some people on the right are freaking out over this because they say this is an outrageous, unconstitutional power grab. Let me direct your attention to Article 2, Section 3 of the Constitution. The President may, on extraordinary occasions, convene both houses, or either of them, and in case of disagreement between them with respect to the time of adjournment, he may adjourn them to such time as he shall think proper. He has this authority to adjourn them. He has this power to recess appointments. Some people on the left don't understand this. So Karen Tumulty over at the Washington Post, she tweets out, "How do people who used to claim they respected the Constitution reconcile this? Tea Party, where are you? Trump threatens to adjourn Congress to get his nominees through." You're asking how people who respect the Constitution can go along with President Trump exercising a power that he is explicitly granted in the Constitution. That's the question? Pretty easily, I guess. Not without very much difficulty at all. This is my favorite version of this. So we're looking up on the internet. Okay, Trump, I guess, has this power. Maybe I'm misreading the Constitution. What do people think about this? What do the commentators and the news people, what do they say about this? September 23rd, 1964. This is a headline in the New York Times. President has authority to send Congress home. Oh, I love it. It's the same principle as there's a tweet for everything. You know, when President Trump says something, people dig back 10 years in his tweets and they find a tweet that contradicts what he's just doing. Well, we can play that same game with the New York Times. Usually we can do that, month by month, because when a Democrat does something, it's fine, and when a Republican does something, it's terrible in the New York Times. We had to go back a little further here, but you just go to 1964. New York Times, president has the authority to send Congress home. Very, very fun. Trump obviously knew this. His advisors obviously knew this. So yet again, they tee up the left. The left goes crazy, and then he just knocks it right out of the park. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe. And if you're not going to do that, all I can say is, how dare you?